Jasper stormed out screaming about ghosts, and I just found the diary that proves he wasn't lying. Jasper slammed the front door so hard the picture frames fell, screaming that something in the walls was watching him, and I called him paranoid. 3 weeks later, I pulled a leather diary out of the crawl space, and every page made my hands shake. We'd been renting the old farmhouse on Pellman Road for 8 months when Jasper started waking up at exactly 3:17 every morning, drenched in sweat, gripping the headboard like the bed was tilting. He kept telling me he heard a child humming in the hallway, the same 3 notes over and over, soft as breath. He swore the attic door opened by itself, that someone had been moving his work boots into a perfect line under the bed, laces tucked in. I worked nights at the hospital and slept through everything, so I told him it was stress, maybe sleep paralysis, maybe the new medication his doctor had switched him to in March. I made him chamomile tea. I bought a white noise machine. I laughed when he asked me to bless the doorways with salt. The night he left, he was standing barefoot in the kitchen at 3:18 a.m., holding a paring knife and pointing at a water stain on the ceiling, his voice cracking as he begged me to just listen, just once, just for a second. After he was gone, I spent 2 weeks convincing myself he'd had a breakdown. I changed the locks, threw out his pill bottles, told his sister he'd call when he was ready. Then the humming started. It was soft, almost musical, drifting from the vent above my bed at exactly 3:17, and I lay there frozen, sheets clenched in both fists, watching the ceiling fan turn until sunrise. The next morning I tore the vent cover off with a butter knife and found a tiny dried flower wedged inside. A violet, the kind nobody had planted in that yard for decades. I started searching the house room by room, tapping walls, pulling up loose floorboards, and behind a warped panel in the crawl space, I found a small tin box wrapped in oilcloth, tied with twine. Inside was a child's leather diary, the pages yellow and curling at the corners, the handwriting tight and frantic, pencil pressed so hard it tore through. The first entry was dated October 1962, and it said, "Mama says if I'm quiet enough in the walls, the new family won't find me." I flipped forward with trembling fingers, and entry after entry described our exact rooms, our exact furniture, our exact routines, decades before we ever signed the lease. Then I reached the page dated 3 days before Jasper left, and my own name was written across the top in fresh, wet black ink. Underneath my name, in handwriting that looked nothing like a child's, were 4 words that made me drop the diary and back away from the wall. And then I heard the humming start again, right behind me. Follow so you don't miss part 2.